When are we gonna get there? I'm hungry. This car smells weird.
You all know me. Know how I earn a living.
You must unlearn what you have learned.
You all right? You look a wee bit shaky.
I can't breathe.
Yes, I'm a bit nervous myself.
Gosh, not again.
What we're dealing with here is a complete lack of respect for the law.
We live or we die by the clock. We never turn our back on it. And we never, ever allow ourselves the sin of losing track of time.
I don't want to tell you something about time. My time is worth money, and I don't think you make that kind of money to pay me for my time.
Only a true friend would be that truly honest.
Okay, Michael. Regular or extra crispy?
The natives, yes, I know they're restless. Well, you would be too. You're locked up. You're not really locked up like in prison, but it feels like it almost, don't it? Hey, how you doing? My name is Michael. This is the FBTV, Freight Broker TV podcast. We try to get together and do this at least once a week, but the last couple of weeks have been kind of goofy, to say the least, and seems to be getting goofier all the time. You know what I'm talking about. If you don't, well, you're probably on a submarine. And, just hearing about it, I read an article the other day about the guys in the Navy on those submarines out there, bottom of the ocean. They may not have any clue what's going on, but I'm guessing they do. Then I read another story about the Teddy Roosevelt aircraft carrier, I believe. Something like 100, maybe 200 sailors positive. The captain of that ship asking the government to help. He's trying not to lose any sailors. I don't know, it's crazy. It is nuts. Toilet paper not on the shelves. Well, I'm telling you, I'm telling you probably what you already know. Now, what I'd like you to do is tell me what's really happening in your life. You can do that now. In the past, you could email us direct, which you still can, at fbtv@freightbrokertv.com. You could leave comments on the YouTube videos. Obviously, you could use the forums on the freightbrokertv.com website to make contact. But now we got a telephone. You got a telephone number. You can call, leave your comments, messages, questions, or whatever using that number. It's 479-668-0213. And I'm sure we'll include that number too in the description for this broadcast. So you can find it there, but I'll repeat it a few times as well. 479-668-0213. Now, what I'd like for you to do, actually, is call and tell us what's going on with your life. How is this affecting you? And tell us where you are. We don't need any personal information. I'm talking about city, state, part of the state, as far as that goes. So because we're getting all this information from the news media, and that's great and all. But if you want to get an inkling of the truth, and you got to watch 5 or 6 different newscasts from 5 or 6 different networks, you got to read 5 or 6 different newspapers to even get an idea of what the truth might be. And then you get a question mark, and you're probably going to get the truth from Twitter. I hate to say Facebook. I hope you're not using Facebook for your news. I really hope you're not using Twitter. But at least the truth is coming out quicker on Twitter because people are getting out there and tweeting what's happening in their life, reality. So, but anyway, yeah, call us. Give us your story. Want to hear about it. Now, when you do call the 479-668-0213, that's our studio line. Be prepared. We are trying this with Skype. Okay? Now, we cannot personalize a greeting. And I don't know why that is. Years ago when I used Skype, yeah, you could personalize it. You could do whatever you wanted to with it. But not now. And that's because Microsoft bought it. And I don't know when that happened. It's been between the last time I used it and now anyway. But we were looking at that the other day. Even contacted them. And, you know, it's contacting customer support, be it any of them anymore. It's like, hey, I don't know. And, they got to flip through their little book. They copy and paste, and they put these stupid answers up there because they really don't know. They're just doing what they're told. But anyway, short of it is, come on, Microsoft, get your head out of the sand, Let's fix this. You need to be able to allow users to set up their voicemail. We're paying, or we are anyway, paying for the number. We're paying for the service, unlimited calls, because we're going to be using this too to do interviews. Isn't that cool? Matter of fact, plan on doing an interview here, hopefully before Friday's radio broadcast. We're going to be doing an interview, talking to an actual trucker out there on the road making pickups and deliveries. So see how that's affecting their life and what's going on. But when you do call, if you call to leave a comment, message, ask a question or whatever, keep in mind that by you calling and leaving the message, that is your consent to be able to use your comment, message, or question in a future broadcast, podcast, or video. So, keep that in mind. All right, now, where do we start today? We got so much stuff to talk about. We really do. And some of this is so important that we'll probably be talking about it again on Friday during the radio broadcast, but it's a whole different thing. But this thing's really, really crazy. It's like we're in a bad movie. Have you felt that way? It's like we are in a bad movie. We're sitting here watching it. It's like we're actually in this movie. And now an earthquake, a big old earthquake up in Utah, wasn't it? Utah, Idaho area. We should have that opened up, but we don't. But holy smoke, man. Holy smoke. Okay, let's start off with this. This is pretty important, especially if you're an owner-operator, independent contractor, even a freight broker agent. The application for an economic injury disaster loan, it is now available for you. The U.S. Small Business Administration posted the application for the loan, which is part of the United States recent coronavirus relief legislation. You'll find that on the SBA website. Economic injury disaster loans are loans of up to $2 million that carry interest rates up to 3.75% for companies, as well as principal and interest deferment for up to 4 years. Pretty good deal. The loans, they can be used to pay for expenses that could have been met had this disaster not occurred, including payroll and other operating expenses. Small business, independent contractors, and even sole proprietors negatively affected by COVID-19, you are encouraged to apply. As part of this emergency legislation, small businesses, independent contractors, and sole proprietors can obtain an advance of up to $10,000. This advance is a grant, which means it doesn't have to be repaid even if you are later denied an EIDL loan. Now that's interesting. Under the legislation, the Small Business Administration is required to provide this grant within 3 days of application. The emergency EIDL program is only one of the financial assistance programs available. There are others, but we thought this important to get out to you now if you're listening to the podcast here. And we're going to be talking about this again Friday. But $10,000 in 3 days, that can help you. If you're a independent driver, owner-operator, operating under your own authority, broker agent, you're You are self proprietor. You're independent. You are your own business. So might be something you want to check into. Nothing but a lot of bad news. Nothing but a lot of bad news. But here's something that's kind of cool. You know, we see the truck drivers. We see, you know, the trucks are going up and down the road. I brought this up a few weeks ago, or a few days ago, a few broadcasts ago. It's all run together now. It's hard to separate. But I had said something a while back about nobody paying attention to the trucks. You know, we're talking about, you know, the coronavirus. Talking about everything, the shelves being empty, toilet paper shortage, paper towel shortage, hand sanitizer shortage. But nobody had brought up the trucks. Nobody was paying attention to the trucks. It's like everybody forgot, hey, no trucks. All the shelves are going to be empty. And now all of a sudden we started seeing, well, not now, but after that we started seeing stories come out about trucks and trucking. And now I'm not saying this podcast or broadcast or FBTV has anything to do with that. I'm just saying it had to come. You know, it was on its way. Another story we're going to be hearing about too, because it's got to trickle. You know, it's going to happen. The United States Postal Service, FedEx, UPS. You know, that it's going to trickle down to them, and we're going to start seeing stories about that as well. But out of all of this, there is a little bit of light every once in a while that breaks through all the darkness and gives us a reason to smile. There's a boy down in Arlington, Texas, 3rd grade, 9-year-old Tyler Carr. He's been home from school because of the coronavirus pandemic. And to pass the time, his mother Tammy, a former television producer, suggested Tyler sign up for an online program called Kindness 101. Now, Kindness 101 is what CBS News correspondent Steve Hartman was encouraging young people to do. In other words, write letters to their heroes during the pandemic, thanking them for what they're doing to keep society moving. Well, some picked nurses, some picked paramedics, doctors, police officers, even firefighters. But Tyler, well, he picked truck drivers. His letter went, Dear Delivery Man, I know you have to work a lot in this worldwide pandemic, but I wrote this letter to say thank you. Thank you for going all around the United States and delivering food to all of the grocery stores and pharmacies. I appreciate that you are still going out and driving your trucks because all of us are sitting on our butts watching TV and eating Cheetos. Once again, thank you for everything you do. Thinking of you, Tyler Carr. Tyler and his mom drove to the Kroger where the family shops, and they taped this special message on the door of the loading dock. Now, it was featured on CBS Evening News on March 27th. And Tyler had this to say.
I was thinking, who should I give it to? Because there's so many heroes here today.
Yeah.
And I decided on the truck driver.
Isn't that cool? Hats off to you, Tyler. Hats off to you. You're a good boy. And Mom, you're a good mom. What else is going on? Road checks. Hey, you know that road check that was scheduled to come up May 5th through 7th? It's been canceled. Not happening. Kind of figured that, didn't you? Yeah, they're going to reschedule it. We just don't know when yet. Usually that thing came up in June. This year they're going to make it May 5th through 7th. That'll teach the DOT or CBSA to try something like this again. Look what they did. Who knows? If things, work out, probably in August, maybe July, because the 2 other CVSA enforcement efforts, they're still scheduled on the calendar. Operation Safe Driver Week, scheduled for July 12th through 18th, and Brake Safety Week is set for August 23rd through 29th. So I would imagine road check's probably going to be back somewhere around there. What else? Man, we got all kinds of things. Here's something kind of different. Now, before I get into that, if you watch the FBTV YouTube video we posted this week, in that mess of everything we talked about during that video, kind of got off on the subject of brokering. You know, trucks are moving freight. Freight's got to be moving. If your shelves at your store are empty, things are limited quantity, well, that's because manufacturers need trucks to get the product off their dock and to the store. It's that simple. Matter of fact, I glanced over an article this morning. I almost talked about it, about the CDL from some of these permit holders. They are now going to be allowed to take that first seat, but there has to be a licensed CDL driver on the truck. But the permittee is allowed to now drive the truck while the CDL driver sleeps. You know, under that learner's permit, at least when I was driving, the CDL driver had to be in the front seat while the permittee was driving. But anyway, if you're a broker and you're sitting there scratching your head, trying to figure out, you know, what do I do? What do I do now? You need to see the big picture. You are needed in this disaster, if you want to call it that. You are needed there during this time. Manufacturers, more than ever, of daily use, critical, needed goods. This is everything from, yes, toilet paper all the way down to the hamburger meat and food that's sitting in the grocery store. Pharmaceuticals, that's another thing. You're needed. You need to, you can really put your best efforts forward. Make contacts with these companies that manufacture these products and help. You can get out there and help. You can be part of the solution. So don't sit back. Now is not the time to be going, man, everything's all screwed up. I'm going to go sit back and watch TV and, as Tyler put it, sit on your butt and eat Cheetos. No, it's time to get after it, man. Time to get out there and get after it. Be part of the solution. Be part of the effort. Help people. Matter of fact, that's funny. That last part, that's going to become somebody's slogan. You know, hey, we're trucking because you're sitting on your butt watching TV eating Cheetos. Oh goodness. If you know any stories like that, remember we got that studio line you can call. We want to hear about it. 479-668-0213. Now, what I was saying earlier, going to talk about before I got off on brokers and the YouTube video, is if you're going into Florida, it's going to be kind of strange because trucks, you bypass the weigh stations. Four-wheelers, you go in the weigh station now. We've taken over. Now, this is true. From the Florida DOT, commercial motor vehicles should proceed in the left lane and may bypass the checkpoint to ensure timely delivery of products across the state. In this strange reversal of the norm, Florida officials are using some of the state's weigh stations as a checkpoint for motorists only. They're trying to slow down the spread of COVID-19 from other states. Can you say New York? I don't know. I'd be running too. A few days ago, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis issued an executive order to try to contain the spread of coronavirus, in part by requiring that motor vehicles entering the state enter weigh stations on I-10 and I-95 for health screenings. From the news release issued by the FDOT to assist with the implementation and enforcement of the executive order, Florida Highway Patrol will staff the checkpoint at I-10 at the Alabama-Florida line 24 hours a day with approximately 16 troopers in 12-hour shifts. Yeah, they look a little serious here. FDOT's top priority is safety. Therefore, motorists who are approaching a checkpoint should be prepared to reduce their speed. Motorists should expect to be directed by law enforcement to enter the weigh station. Depending on the motorist origin, they will be directed to either proceed back to the interstate or to pull aside for further screening. So, what this sounds like, they are going to either get the bypass lane or they're going to have to pull in for a full inspection. Commercial motor vehicles should proceed in the left lane and bypass the checkpoint to ensure timely delivery of products across the state. So if you're a driver, you're going into Florida, hey man, blow the scales. Just go on by. It's not for you. It's for the cars, for the four-wheelers. Oh my. What else? We gotta go down here and read this. FDOT remarked, the Florida Department of Transportation fully supports the trucking industry and appreciates the critical services they provide across the state while protecting Floridians' safety during COVID-19. No commerce is impeded and commercial vehicles may bypass the checkpoints to ensure timely delivery of products across the state. Well, how about that? Now, something, I noticed here coming up the other day, kind of made me sit on the edge of my chair, is that they were saying that Louisiana is becoming a hotbed. And actually, you think about it, yeah, okay, why not? You had, Mardi Gras last month. This thing, a lot of people are saying now, yeah, this actually entered the country way before it became, headline news. Yeah, you got Mardi Gras, just like you had down there in Florida with spring break. Kids will be kids. And, yeah, so it spread. They brought it into New Orleans, and, what stays in New Orleans, or what happens in New Orleans, well, you get the idea. Yeah, I mean, Arkansas, that's just, that's New Orleans. Well, Louisiana is just a few miles south of me here. And so that's going to be wild. And where's it go to from here? From New Orleans? Houston? Don't know. Well, trucking is getting the goods delivered across the country. We're helping America stay fed. We're helping America. I say we're. You, actually. Helping America eat. Get the supplies needed. I know a lot of you are running your tail ends off. Can't get there fast enough. But, the main thing is you're going state to state to state. You got to stop. You got to rest. You got to get out. You got to eat. You're in contact with multiple people every day, and as a truck driver, a former truck driver anyway, I know, hey man, it's going to be hard to keep that 6-foot distancing, socialized distancing, whatever they're calling it. It's going to be tough, And I know that's in the back of your mind, but you're out there doing it anyway. I know part of it is, hey, we've got bills to pay, Yes, you do. I understand that, but there comes a point to where the bill's getting paid and your life it becomes, just like Tyler said, you're a hero. You are all heroes. You know, the doctors, the nurses, medical personnel, they may be on the front line. But I tell you what, I think that front lines extends to the truckers out there on the road. I really do. I really do. My point here is not only are you helping America, you know, proceed and stay in the game, so to speak, but you're also throwing a lifeline to refineries, because what's happened is that nobody's doing anything. The gasoline consumption has pretty much bottomed out. If it wasn't for the big trucks on the road, these oil refineries, they would be hurting pretty bad. Jets are grounded, cars parked. Diesel fuel for trucking is giving some relief to refineries as the coronavirus spread cuts deep into the demand. So not only are you delivering and helping America get their goods and eat and get their TP, but you're also helping oil refineries stay in business. So good for you. Other day on the radio broadcast, I believe. I think we talked about it the other day on the video. 35,000 Peterbilts recalled for a defect that could cause the truck to catch fire. Well, that's a good reason for a recall. 2015-2020 Peterbilts 365, 389, 567, 579 are all equipped with a left-handed underhood jumper terminal that seems to be the problem. It could cause an electrical short, which would then cause a fire. So, if you got questions about the recall, and you've got a 2015 to 2020 Peterbilt 365, 389, 567, or 579, well, you can call PACCAR Customer Service. Oh, boy. Customer Service. Anyway, call them at 1-940-591-4220. Reference recall number 20PBA. Now, if you got a reference, a recall number, it makes you think, man, how many recalls they got out? But anyway, customer service. You know, there was a time customer service in this country meant something. Before it got outsourced to everywhere else. Now customer service, I don't know. Here's your book. Just copy and paste. Copy and paste. Find what you think is the solution. Copy and paste it. All right, that's the Peterbilt recall. What? That's the Peterbilt recall? Yes, there's more. That's what I'm referring to here. There are more. Navistar. They're recalling 13,000 trucks for brake light defect that could cause confusion and crashes. Navistar has issued a major recall for a brake light issue that could increase the risk of a crash. Okay, let's see what this is all about. According to the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration documents, these trucks are equipped with a brake light switch that may have a weak solder joint, possibly resulting in a poor electrical contact and inoperative brake lights or brake lights that stay on. This, in turn, could cause confusion to other drivers on the road and increase the risk of a crash. I get that. I get that. Hey, man, the last thing you want is the brake light not coming on. I'd be more worried about the brake light not coming on than it staying on. But on the other hand, you know, I know, okay, maybe I shouldn't be telling this story, but it's kind of comical. Well, in a way. Back years ago when I was driving, they made it illegal for a commercial vehicle to have a radar detector. So before they came out with all these radar detectors, then the radar detector, and 10 miles long now, but you get the idea. What we would do, and I did this, I had a truck like this, we would put a kill switch on the brake light. Because what would happen a lot of times, what these troopers and law enforcement people would do, DOT would do, they set up on the back of a on-ramp or something, and as the truck went by, they'd shoot them with that radar gun. And that's how they kind of had an idea if they had a radar detector in the truck, because the driver would slam on his brakes, natural reaction. Where you put that brake light kill switch, you get shot and the radar detector goes off, you hit your brakes and the brake lights don't come on. So, yeah, that was then. Don't mess with that anymore. You had to remember to take that thing out of the dash when you went over a way station, went through a port of entry or something, because if you didn't, you get a ticket. But anyway, back to the Navistar Recall, 2019-2020 International LT and 2018-2021 International HX vehicles. This recall impacts 13,570 trucks. If you think you may have one of these trucks, well, call Navistar Customer Service, 800-448-7825, reference recall number 20501. What a day. What's going to happen between now and Friday when we do our radio broadcast? I don't know, but it'll be interesting. A lot of the stuff we talked about today, like I said, we're going to be talking about during the radio broadcast too. And hopefully we'll have some input from you between now and then that we can use in the radio broadcast as well. We'd like to hear from you. Again, if you want to call, leave a comment, question, or even leave a message, like I was saying earlier in the broadcast. How is the coronavirus affecting your life today? What's happening? Where are you? What part of the country are you in? How is your area doing? How are the grocery store shelves? Are you able to get supplies? Are people still in the markets? What kind of changes have been made in your life? Like to know. Call our studio line, 479-668-0213. That's 479-668-0213. 0213. I'm sure they'll put this in the description of this podcast, so scroll down. The number will be in there. Keep in mind, though, that your comments, questions, message, whatever, may be used as part of a future FBTV broadcast, podcast, or even in a video. So by you leaving a message, that gives your implied consent that we can use it. All right. Go out there, stay healthy. Tune in Friday morning, 10 a.m. for FBTV Radio Live. You can tune in from the Freight Broker TV website. You can stream it straight from the website, or you can download an app if you get an iPhone or an iPad. Well, no, I think it's iPhone only. Enter the streams URL into that. You can find us on, you'll be able to find us on other radio directories like, none come to mind right off the top of my head. But anyway, we're out there. Just do a search. FBTV Radio Live. All right. Go have a good day. It's Wednesday, April 1st. I don't think there's going to be too many April Fool pranks going on today. Today, the world is serious. Things happening in the world are extremely serious. Even Google. No Google pranks. That is pretty customary for Google on April Fool's Day. Nothing. So get out there, do what we've got to do what you got to do. Keep the country alive. You stay safe. You stay healthy. We'll talk to you soon.